lead us into another discussion of looking out. Peg, do you want to just take over from there?
We'll take over.
Okay, perfect. We'll get out of your way.
All right, thanks, Hive. So I am Peg Wilson. I am the Star Director of Team Embrace. You may have seen the Hive buzzing around here. My team has, we named our team initially Team Embrace because I wanted it to be a culture where everybody was welcome. We kind of embrace you where you are. And we took that one step further and went with some branding, and we're looking for something that gave a community feel. So we went with a beehive theme, and everybody's kind of a little worker bee, and I am the beekeeper. So it was because I didn't like, they kept calling me the queen bee, and I was like, nah, that kind of sends the wrong message. I don't want to be the queen bee. Whoever has the highest PRV gets to be the queen bee, so. So my topic is looking out for others. So when you take your personal experiences in life and bring those to your business, it makes you more understanding, it makes you empathetic and compassionate, and you may connect with people who share the same struggles as you or the same celebrations as you. If you're authentic, you're open and honest. It doesn't mean you have to bare your soul. I know like some people talk about telling your story, and you know, I'm a little protective of my story, maybe. I mean, I tell everybody all my business and who am I kidding, but I'm a little bit protective of it. I don't like to go out there and just like kind of tell my story to everybody. I don't think everybody necessarily needs to hear your whole story in order for you to relate to them. But if you start looking out and you look at things when you're seeing people posting on social media and somebody's posting something, I'm a cancer survivor, 13 years, you know. So when I see somebody who has posted something about having cancer, I can relate to them. That's something where I authentically and genuinely, I want to wish them well, so I will reach out to them and tell them, you know, hey, look, I'm a cancer survivor too. This is the way that I am networking, I'm building connections, and it's got to be something that's authentic and genuine to you. It's got to be something that you can connect with people on your level and something that you've experienced. I want to start by saying that in this business, we all start out at the same place. We all start at zero. Every month we start at zero. We all start in this business, and when everybody in the beginning, we're all nervous and we're excited, you know, we want to get started, and I kind of envy. How many of you are brand new consultants within this past year? So you guys are in the best spot. I envy you so bad. That initial fire, does everybody remember that? Those who have been in, do you remember that initial fire and you were so excited? You had no clue what you were doing. None of us had a clue. I hit all the milestones. I had no idea I was doing really good because I had no idea what I was doing. I just loved the product, and I was out there offering the product, and I was sharing the product. Sometimes we kind of have to back up, and we kind of have to get back to that stage. So all of you newbies, enjoy that fire, hold that fire as long as you possibly can. Don't get jaded, don't get scared, just be, ignorance is bliss sometimes, I swear it really is. So, it is the truth, isn't it? So let's talk about the law of attraction. Everybody's heard of the law of attraction, right? Does everybody know what that is? We've sort of touched on it, a couple of the speakers have touched on it. So what's nice about that is you realize that you have a story, and I'm sorry I'm like reading because otherwise I'll just be up here talking for 2 hours, so I have to keep myself on track. So everybody has their story, and when you're genuine, you're authentic, you're attracting people that are like you. So like I said, when you go onto social media and you see things, if you join a dog group and you are a dog lover, I have 3 big giant dogs at home. So I am a big fan of people who adopt dogs, people who rescue dogs. I absolutely love it. So I'm in all these groups, and I can genuinely connect with those people and attract people who are like me. The things that you post on social media, that's what Deb, I think, was talking a little earlier about. Are you always posting negative things out there? When you're posting negative things, that's what you're attracting. You're sort of telling the universe, these are the kind of people that I want. I think I attract some crazy people, right, Hive? Yeah. So it really is, the law of attraction is what you put out is what you get back. So think of that when you're putting things out there, when you're attracting people to your team, when you're putting posts out there. Be genuine, be authentic. So you want to constantly put your binoculars on and always be on the lookout. Look out for people who are going to be good members of your team. You know, maybe somebody, I always start with everybody where I'm trying to make a friend first. So everybody that's my customer, whether you want to be or not, you're my friend. I build relationships with people. That is probably the core of my business, and what makes my business successful is that, and the people on my team, they will tell you, most of them started out as being my friend, then a customer, then we talked about them being a teammate, you know, so that it's sort of something that's building. And if you look at everybody that you meet in that respect of, I want to make you a friend, the business will come along if the business is right. I was telling somebody on my team today, I had a conversation with my mother-in-law. I've been with my husband for 38 years, so, you know, I tells you a little bit about my age, but it's a long, long time. You know, I was also telling somebody I like to tell people I'm 75 so that they tell me I look good for my age, so, you know. But if, you know, so my mother-in-law for, you know, 38 years we've been around, you know, she's like my blood mother, you know, is that the right word? I don't know, but she's like my real mom too. But she's not a customer. She does not like fragrance. And I was practicing my speech and talking to her and telling her all about it, you know, and she goes, don't try and recruit me, I'm not joining your team, you know. And I started laughing, I said, you know what, it's okay. It's okay that she's not my customer. She doesn't like fragrance. So I'm not going to get butthurt because she's not my customer. There's lots of people out there who are your customer. Look for those people. Always be on the lookout for those people. Don't try and force it. It will happen if it's supposed to happen. So trust in the process and trust in the universe. When I started this business, I didn't get a whole lot of support. My husband was like, I won't use curse words, but my husband called it that Scentsy poo word. And he's like, you know, how much is this going to cost us? You know, and that's it, here you go. And my mother was like, you know, look, I know you're really excited, but like slow your roll, this isn't going to last long. That was back in 2015. So I've earned every incentive trip. They're starting to think that maybe it's not that Scentsy poo word anymore, you know? So it's starting, you know, now they're starting to believe in me. I will say back there, I don't want to say everybody in my family because my daughter's back there, my sister's back there, and they're a big help in my business, and they always were very supportive. My little tribe, you know? So let's see. So when you start your business, we talked about everybody being the fire. You know, everybody has that fire, and I call the first 6 months of your business, and for you newbies, listen up. Because that first 6 months of your business is the honeymoon phase. That's when your family and your friends are supporting you and they're all buying everything and you're excited and you're digging into everything, you know. And then everybody in your family has a warmer and they have wax and they might be coming back for a bar or two or they see something they really like, but it's not that initial where you're doing all these big parties and things kind of start to get a little bit of a lull. That's when people start to go, you know, maybe this isn't for me. Because that's when the work comes in. That's when all of a sudden you're past that honeymoon phase and you got to go find some new customers. How do you go and find new customers? A couple people yell out. Follow up, but you're following up. You're following up with the same people. They're the same people. You have to find new ones. Go ahead, some other.
Grocery store.
Right, so events are great. That's certainly one of the ways that I build my business is I go out there at events and I find myself new customers. That's the, what's that? Happy Mail. There you go. That's my Happy Mail sender that's out there yelling. My sister's my secretary. She's out there yelling. Happy Mail really does help. When I do vendor events, that's something that, you know, now that my sister has mentioned our Happy Mail, when I go out to vendor events, lots of the people who come to vendor events, what they're doing is they're getting their fix. They might already have a Scentsy consultant, their Scentsy consultant, you know, doesn't sell anymore, or maybe there's somebody who just likes to go to events. They don't want to deal with Scentsy consultant because they think you're going to harass them to have a party, you know. Meet those people all the time at vendor events. But the secret is, when you meet these people at vendor events, do they just buy one time and then you never hear from them again? Happens all the time. So we have started something where when I meet people now at vendor events, I do my little drawing, but when they order something, I say to them, once you've placed an order, please fill out my raffle. I chance off whatever the warmer of the month is. Anybody who's filled out one of my raffles, I chance that off every month, so then it becomes a tax write-off, just so you know, that's good for a tax write-off. So I do that every single month, but I tell them when they've placed an order, if they fill out that raffle form, they're gonna get Happy Mail from me. Nobody knows what Happy Mail is, but everybody wants it. Everybody wants Happy Mail. And it depends on what they've ordered from me. If they've made a big purchase, we send them a scent circle, we send them a product sheet, we'll send them a sample of something else that's coming out, but they always get a handwritten note. They think it's my handwriting, it's actually my sister's handwriting, so she's my secretary. So that's the way that you want to attract new people, and that's when your business takes that dip. You want to remember that this is the honeymoon phase, and this is where the work comes in. That's where lots of consultants fall off. The first 6 months, the first year, lots of consultants fall off. And it's because now it's work. It's not so much fun anymore, it's work. You have to find ways to mix it up and make it fun. So always be on the lookout for things that are going to make your business fun, things that are going to mix it up a little bit. This is where the mindset comes into. So if you have a growth mindset, so this is an analogy that I use with my team all the time. So your Scentsy business is your business. It's your personal business. It's no different than having a brick front store. You don't have a brick front store, but let's think that you do have a brick front store. So say you have an ice cream store. Your ice cream store, you're selling vanilla and chocolate ice cream. Your family and friends, that first 6 months honeymoon phase, everybody's coming and everybody's buying ice cream and they're all supporting you. Well, after a while, maybe they get tired of chocolate vanilla ice cream. So now you get strawberry. Things have faded off, not too many people are coming to the store, but now you've got strawberry ice cream. Well, what are you going to do? Are you hoping that they're going to stop by and figure out you got strawberry ice cream? Or are you going to tell them? You got to call them up. You got to tell them. You have to advertise. When you get a new product, you've got to be excited about it too. And you've got to let your customers know. I've had one team member that said to me, I am not going to harass people to buy Scentsy. And I was like, ooh, that's a bad mindset. If you feel like you're harassing people to buy Scentsy, this is not the business for you. You have to be excited about your product. You have to be willing to get out there and offer the product to people and tell them the new things that are coming. The difference between you and them going to those other wax dealers that they can find in a store, guess what? When they go to Yankee Candle's not calling them up and saying, hey, did you like the new fragrance? Did you get your order? Did you try the candle yet? They're not doing that. You are. That's the difference between you and them going someplace else. The difference is you. You are the important thing. You have to be the person that they want to come back to. They want to do business with you. There's a lot of Scentsy consultants in this room. And I've got lots of Scentsy consultants in my own town. Why do people buy from me? They buy from me because I'm providing them the customer service that they want. It doesn't mean that the other consultants aren't, or maybe they aren't, but I'm providing the customer service that they want. I've made a connection with them. So that's how you're going to keep your business going, is by making that connection. I skipped ahead, so I'll go to the next one. Okay, so what about follow-up systems? Does everybody have a follow-up system? Okay, so we actually, when Dawn was up here earlier, Dawn talked about the 222 system. Stole my thunder there, Dawn. We're on the same page here, girl. You're my spirit people. Okay, so the 222 system. 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. Within 2 days of them placing the order with me, it's usually the same day that they've placed the order. I check my workstation every day to see that orders come in, and I reach out to them, whether it's a text, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a Facebook message in my group. I usually do like a big little thank you blast every day and tag all the people who have placed an order. Make sure that you do that. Make sure you thank them. They want to know right away that you got that order. They're sitting back going, did that order go through? I'm not really sure, so make sure that you thank them. 2 weeks later, I'm checking my workstation and I'm making sure that their order shipped or that they've received their order. I do that before I follow up with them, because I did have a few people that I follow up saying, hey, how'd you like that warmer? And I haven't gotten it yet. So make sure that you always make sure that they've received the order so you can follow up. And make sure you know what they've ordered so you can have an intelligent conversation, not just like, hey, thanks for giving me more commission. You want to make sure that you're following up with them and you're saying, hey, how did you like that warmer? And then you know the warmer and the wax that they got, so you can have an intelligent conversation with them. And then, those devices that we have that cost, thousands of dollars that we all carry around with us every day? Use that. Use that technology for your business. Set a reminder. Put a reminder in your phone to follow up with that person 2 months later. So before you follow up with them, again, check your workstation to make sure you're not going to remember every order you get. If you're running your business and you have a successful business, you're not remembering every order you get. So you don't want to send Sally a message saying, hey, haven't heard from you in 2 months. And she's like, what are you talking about? I ordered 2 weeks ago. You sent me a thank you note. So you want to make sure that you've done that and that you're following up with them. So when you use the 222 system, it kind of keeps you on track. If you're doing it right away, use your phone. Put that 2 week reminder in there. Put that 2 month reminder in there so that you're always doing that. I promise I'm almost done. Okay, so this is one of the ways that you build relationships. And how do you stay motivated? How do you stay motivated when things, when you're getting in that lull and things get down? How do you guys stay motivated? Tell me.
My upline.
Your upline, okay, so your upline gets back there and gives you a little kick in the tush and goes, come on, girl, you know. That part of being a leader is being a cheerleader too. So that's part of what we do. Is if you have one person on your team, cheer them on. You're the person that's gonna keep them going when they're in that downtime. But what if you're just by yourself? If it's just you, how do you stay motivated? Remember your why. There you go, thank you, that was excellent. See that, and I didn't even pay her to say that, So in this business, you want to evaluate your why. Everybody has a why. And whether your why is just, I don't know, my cousin tortured me to join the business and I joined. That was my why at the time. Your why is going to change over time. Initially, that's why I joined. My cousin tortured me, and she tortured me for a while, and I kept saying, no, no, no. I was using it for a couple of years. I was too busy. I was a cheer mom, and I had a daughter that was in soccer, and I was running all over the place. I was like, there's no way that I can do this. But it was a Disney incentive trip. Bingo, she was speaking my language now. You know, all you Disney lovers out there, I was like, what do you mean? I could go to Disney for free? And that's when my husband went, how much is this gonna cost us? You know, but but I did earn the Disney trip. So it was all good. It was all good after that. So when he started, you know, as a matter of fact, I met Heidi and Orville when we went to Punta Cana. And my husband, now we were speaking his language. We had never been outside the country, and now we went to an all-inclusive where he didn't have to pay for his alcohol. Now we were speaking his language. We got there and we were like, oh, so this is why people go to all-inclusives. This is great. And I made a comment to Orville and I was like, yeah, I think Bob Wilson is drinking the Kool-Aid, you know? So so it was funny after that. You know, Orville ran into me a couple of years later, and his capacity for memory just, it never ceases to amaze me. He remembered my name and said to me, so is Bob still drinking the Kool-Aid? So I think it resonated with him, you know? So you have to find things, you know, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Keep it simple. Stick to our core values. This business is supposed to be about things being simple. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's so much information out there. If you look at your workstation, we talked about the tools. Everybody take out your tools, even yourself. You are your tool. So make sure you hit up your tools and you look at the things. Watch what other people are doing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Everybody's going to share their information with you. It's all out there. There's so much information that's out there. So that is the foundation of what we do. Okay, so what's your next step? So now that you've done your business for a while, maybe your business has hit a low, you're trying to get yourself reestablished. How many people here have kind of hit that lull and you're here and congratulations to all of you for investing in your business and being here. But now that you've hit that lull, you're here because you're looking for that fire, right? You're looking for something to do. So this is something that I started with my team this year and I talked to them about. Every day, follow up with 5 people. It sounds daunting, but it's really not. You're sitting eating your breakfast, text somebody. 5 people. Whether you run a list on your workstation of a report of people that you haven't heard from, whether you just go scrolling through your phone. What I do with myself is, I'm like, okay, it's A day. We're going through and we're finding 5 people in my phone that begin with A, whether it's their last name, their first name, and I'm following up with them. Even if it's something simple and just saying, hey girl, haven't heard from you, how you been? Doesn't always have to be a sale, it's about making the connection and it's about them. We sit around and think about Scentsy a whole lot. They aren't sitting around thinking about Scentsy. You want to remind them, and you want to remind them, and they're like, oh yeah, Peg followed up me. That's my Scentsy girl. So now they're thinking about Scentsy. So if you get yourself to where you start to do that regularly, what a difference it makes in your business. And you know, if anything, you're just going to make friends. You're just going to make friends. It doesn't always have to be about a sale. Hey, I saw that your dog was sick. You know, how you doing? How you holding up? You know, I saw your mom wasn't feeling well. Hey, I saw that your daughter graduated. You know, little things like that, and just follow up and make it authentic. Okay, so some of the things that have made an impact on my business, I had mentioned about my sister being my little secretary, my follow-up, and my daughter goes with me and does events with me. So it's really nice to have a friend. The best thing that you can do is get your friend and have your friend join with you, because I can tell you this business is a whole lot more fun with a friend. So yes, it is. And so a little of the extra things that we do, I was afforded the ability by building my business and being able to do this and having my sister. My sister now sends out all my thank you notes. So I work full time. I have 2 kids, busy, crazy life as most of you have. And this is something that I was able to do. You know, part of my commission. I slip my sister. I feed her most of the time. I pay her in Scentsy, I will admit that, but but she does help me. So everybody has their workbook. Take out your workbook. I know you have a little page where it says I'm the speaker, and make sure you write my name and remember me with a cute little smiley face. Well, actually remember me as a bee, so you can just draw a little picture of the bee next to my name, then you'll remember who I am. Okay, so one of the things that I always like to say is that a goal without a plan is just a wish. We all have lots of wishes, but we need to have some goals, and you need to make some plans for goals. So everybody has a PRV goal every month, right? Most of you have your $200 minimum, or you want to do $500 so that you get paid on your team. So I say that you need to dream big. So pick that goal. We were talking about annual sales. So annual sales, you have to sell $2,500 a month to make annual sales. Some people are like, whoa, what are you talking about? I have to sell that much. I met a girl in Gatlinburg, Tennessee at a Star Director retreat that sells $10,000 every month. And I was like, $10,000? I'm trying to get a whole team to sell $10,000. And that's what this girl does every month, because she uses the follow-up system. That's what she does. She does Scentsy full-time, so she's got a little more time than people who are working, but that's what she does. So when you have a goal, and what I've discovered for myself personally, when I first started out, my goal was $500. Guess what? When my goal was $500, guess what I sold? $500. Then I upped my goal to $1,000. Guess what? I sold $1,000, and every month I was consistently selling $1,000. Never thought I could do that. So I doubled my goal when I said I'm going to do $2,000 a month. So I was like, all right, I started selling $2,000 a month, and consistently selling $2,000 a month, because when I got to that point towards the end of the month, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm at $1,500. I start calling people. I start checking in with people, and all of a sudden the orders are rolling in, and it's sort of the mindset, and I don't know how you guys feel about putting stuff out in the universe, but I certainly believe when you put stuff out there and the universe gives you exactly what you ask for. So maybe you're not asking the universe for enough. Last year, I set my goal, I'm going to get annual sales. I set my goal at $2,500 a month. I sold $2,500 a month, and I got annual sales for the first time. And I got it again this year for the first time, because that's what I set my goal. Thank you. But it is achievable. Nicole was up here saying, your dreams, and guess what? You're not dreaming big enough. You're not asking the universe for what you deserve. And lots of times it's because you don't think that you deserve it. You don't think you're worthy. One of the speakers, one of the girls who started my talk said that, she's in a group with these amazing leaders and she feels like she's not worthy. We've all been there. I'm not any different than the rest of you. Star Director doesn't mean anything. I'm doing exactly the same job you're doing. I'm following up with customers just like you're doing. I'm trying to hit that 200, then I'm trying to hit that 500, then I'm trying to hit that 2,000. So ask the universe for what you really deserve. Dream big. Put down in your book what your big dream is. And you know what? If you don't hit it every month, it's okay. It's okay if you don't hit it. Now, you want to take that. Now you've got a goal. Break it down. How are you going to get there? How many parties do you need to get there? You want to encourage your team to do exactly the same thing. So when you break those down, you break them down into smaller goals, they're way more achievable. Jenna and Nicole talked about that too. They talked about how you take those small goals and you break it down. You break it down per week, you break it down, per day of what you're going to do. So take that big giant goal that you've got and dream big. Dream really, really big. So front load your calendar. That's another thing that we've all talked about before, front loading your calendar. So in this way, if something happens, that party cancels, you're not stuck at the end of the month trying to scramble and to meet your goals. So if you put all your parties in the beginning of the month, and then if they don't happen, or if you're running a little short of your goal, maybe the party didn't turn out as big as you wanted, schedule another party. You can get something else in there. How many people in here actually do home parties? Okay, not a whole lot of hands, but okay. We are a party plan business. That is our business, but you can run a successful business. I have a director who's right here, up here in the front row recording me, who never does home parties. She's a director, right? She never does home parties, but she's a director and she's hitting her goals every single month because she's found a way to make it successful in a way that works for her, and you can too. It's a matter of you finding the way that you want to do it. So, my final thought here, I think it's my final thought. Did I miss one? Yes, it's my final thought. Okay. So my final thought is something my grandmother used to say all the time, and I carry this with me all the time. There's two favorite sayings that Great Grammy actually used to say, and well, she wasn't my Great Grammy, she's my kid's Great Grammy, but we all called her Great Grammy. She would say, watch what you say, your brain is listening. So when I say that statement, what does it mean to you? I get a couple people who can give me their feedback on what that statement means. Say it again. No? Can't hear? All right, okay. So what I have always meant, what I always thought it meant is when you are saying things, I can't. I'm not good enough. Whether it's the little voice that's in your head or it's something that you're talking to your director and you're saying, nobody wants to book parties with me. You've just told your brain, nobody wants to book parties with you. And you know what your brain's giving you? Exactly what you asked for. I'm not good enough. I'm fat. You're never gonna lose weight. I'm dumb. Everybody's gonna think you're dumb because that's what you believe. It's your belief system. What you believe in your head is exactly what you're going to get. So watch what you say. Your brain is listening. Okay, so I will say that one of the things that I like to do is replace my words. So I was very nervous getting up here, but I replaced the words and I said I was very excited. So I wasn't sweating. I didn't think I was going to throw up before I got here. I was very, very excited. I got through it. That's it for today. So.